In round 6, easy enough. What up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Tam. This is Barrett from Riftbound Ramblings. If you like this, make sure you do all the cool YouTube stuff, as well as go check out his channel. Links to all that will be in the description down below. But we've got round 6 of the first ever Riftbound regional here. And me and my buddy Barrett, we're going to be casting it. We're going to be talking about it. I'll get this playing, and we'll get over here. Two characters we have already seen on stream. We've got Kasai finally on the left side of the table versus Viktor on the right. And we got them all win con. I'm sorry. I mean,
you're already loving this.
And by that I mean I actually hope that Kasai gets to do the alt win con. We've got
that would be incredibly weird.
Void Gate over on Kasai's side, which says that your spells do a little bit extra, and then the Grand Plaza over on Viktor's side for if you hold here and you've got 7 more dudes.
If you hold here and you have 7 more units, you win the game.
So
and cool. It looks like Viktor is going to be able to go first here, rolling that 11 on that D12. It looks like. So yeah, Viktor going first. Hopefully, if we're trying to go for the alternate win con as a way, an avenue in this game of really pulling things off, I'm excited to see what kind of cards we're going to be playing in this Viktor deck, because based off of what I can already see, it is very much about making a lot of recruits very quickly, which can be very good against the Kai'Sa game plan. Again, we kind of saw in a previous match earlier today of like, Kai'Sa has these single target removal spells, but it's like what I just said, single target. Some of them pick twice, and things like a Cathian Rain can do it 6 times, but when you're playing a bunch of mini recruits, it's really hard to deal with them all for Kai'Sa, unless you are using multiple cards, which is exactly what you need to do to eat up that hand advantage that Kai'Sa is so good at getting.
Yeah, spoilers for a previous round. If you have not seen this round before, this is your chance to get out. Spoilers in 3, 2, 1. I believe the last Viktor Kai'Sa we saw ended in a draw. Am I not mistaken?
No, the only draw we've seen was Kai'Sa ended up taking it down. Kai'Sa won that match.
Oh,
it was in overtime though.
It was
at the very end. It was in overtime, but that Viktor deck I don't think was tailored in the same direction that this one was tailored, and we are already seeing a pretty powerful start here with the Soaring Scout getting played, and as it swings into the base to score a point, it gets killed off with a Hextech Ray, which channels us a rune, and then Kai'Sa turns sideways and says, it cost me nothing, right? But a card out of hand. So we're going to channel another rune, though, and use our character, our Viktor, to generate a recruit, and then, of course, we have the Manipulator, I think is her name.
I trust you.
She's got a name. And I'm pulling it up.
It's Janet. This is Janet. Janet makes
manufacturer. Faithful manufacturer. It's for 3 energy, 2 might unit, and it generates another recruit. So you swung in with 1. It channeled you a rune, and then immediately we play, and we have 3 more units on the board. It's already looking pretty good if you're going for that alternate win condition. But here comes a Sprite Mother, gives us this little temporary token. We're going to immediately move it into that battlefield that you know that Viktor's trying to go to, and it's going to get at least a point there, but it's just a temporary unit, so it won't stay there for very long.
Yeah, I like the aura farming here of just being like, hey, I know that this is what you want, but you're not allowed to have it. You don't got the resources on board to do it. Let's trade, and then nobody gets to have fun here.
Yeah, immediately sends a recruit over to the Void Gate battlefield, getting 1, and then another Faithful Manufacturer coming in, generating us essentially 2 more bodies, and then the Legion version of her, basically, which does cost you a recycle. The Vanguard Captain coming in with Legion says, I make 2 more recruit tokens. Tam, there's already 7 units in our base.
I think there's 8 dudes. Did I miscount?
There's so 1 in the recruit, right? But I think in our base, there's only 7. But
holy.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, you're right. There's 8.
So yeah, there's 8 dweebs here. Holy.
And we've tied up the score count. Like, you're playing on 2 fronts here, right? For this Viktor deck, you're playing on the I am still playing the score game. I went and moved this little recruit over. It dies. You don't care. That cost you a Viktor ability to create.
Yeah.
And now you are presenting 8 units. You can move all 8 of them at the Grand Plaza next turn. And then we said no. I need to contest it, so let's play my Kai'Sa Accelerated. I've got to be able to kill off some of these recruits when you attack into it.
Yeah, this makes sense.
Because here's the thing, Tam.
Go ahead.
You swing with your 8 units and you can hold on to it. You still have all of your resources to play with this turn. We are just still sitting on 6 runes, channeling up to 8. If you just play a trick and kill the Kaisa and you swing with your 8 dudes, what are you going to do?
I mean, the answer is this guy has to empty their hand and play a bunch of spells, which they don't want to do because I don't want to kill a bunch of weenies. I want to kill things that are high impact, right? I
Yes.
want to put things on the board that when I put things on the board, like I don't know, this 1,000-tailed Watcher. I really want to spend a resource swinging at that rather than swinging at this. If we accelerated this,
we did not.
We did not,
but we thought about it. But this means you just get to swing in with this 2 might unit and kill the Kaisa that's only at 1 might. You are forcing a tool out of the Kaisa player right here and now. And once you conquer the battlefield, Tam, if they don't use an answer, you can just move them all in afterwards.
Yeah. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got 7 readied units, readied soldiers, rip raring to go. And it looks like we are going to retreat this Kaisa back to our hand and say, hey, this card is way more important than normal.
Yeah, take the Conquer here, get the points here. Same idea. Gonna trade with this Motherly Sprite that only has 1 might to it. We're not playing any tricks. It dies, go to 3. And while you thought the Viktor player was playing on the I'm gonna put on my units here, he just said, I'm still gonna get you with the value engine. I'm forcing you to do these things because you're so afraid of this alt win con, but I might still just play the game like a normal human being.
Yeah. Love that. Love that. Love that. And most importantly, like, there's just no way that Kaisa ever gets to utilize this base. And so we've seen on the broadcast before, a lot of these Kaisas are utilizing these bases of, oh, when you hold here, draw a card. When you play a friendly unit, or when you play a friendly spell here, draw a card. Nothing's happening at this base. This is just, hey,
Nothing.
you gotta find 8 homies to go hang out at this battlefield in order to get use out of it, and that's just impossible, specifically for this Kaisa to do.
Absolutely. That retreated Kaisa that we bounced last turn, we're allowed to play once again. We paid the accelerate cost again. That retreat doing a good job of refunding that, of course. And so we did go ahead to conquer. Gonna redraw a card, play a Raven Bloom from our hand into our base as we conquered and scored up to 4 here for Kaisa. But again, you're not really like progressing the board state. You're just answering these tiny little units that Viktor is playing. Meanwhile, their base is huge. Now this 1,000-eyed Watcher, Tam, we can swing with it.
Yeah, we can swing with it, and it's gonna swing out pretty big. Did we just draw a grand strategy? Did I?
Grand Stratagem would be nuts. I don't think that's the one we drew. I think we actually might have just drawn a Harnessed Dragon, which if we play it, I'll bring it up. But if we don't play it, I don't really care as much.
That's fair.
So we have 1 readied resource here on the side of Kaisa as we pass through and see a retreat, which matters a lot, right? What a coward. We can see the same play that we just saw, but it just means that these other cards that the Kaisa player is holding on to, yep, here it is. So we're just going to swing in with this 1,000 Watcher, and we win immediately, going up to 5 points. And then we get to channel a rune exhausted, again, kind of paying for that accelerate cost. And we just have, we have 9 runes to play with, Tam. We didn't do anything. You did. And I still am winning in the game.
Yeah. It's now 4 to 5.
Looks 4 for our champion unit here, Viktor. That says if either of these units on the battlefield right now die, they refund me and get me another recruit. Play our Viktor ability, give us a recruit. We have to pay the 1, of course, which we did. And then we're also going to play Cull the Weak. I'll kill off a unit, and because of the Viktor champion unit we played, you're going to lose your unit in your base, and I'm going to still get a recruit back for culling off this 2 might unit. Yep, there it is. We're going to get the trigger there. It comes in exhausted, of course, and we are still sitting here playing with 8 readied units to go, and he just says passed. The control on the... I would want to go for the win con so bad, Tam.
Look at all these dudes. There's so many dudes. At some point, the judge staff is gonna run out of tokens, man. It's just like you're gonna start ripping pieces of paper like this is a recruit now. All right, don't
hey,
waste it.
Can you put some dice on those to represent that there are more than one of them there?
I'm begging.
And then from here, it's so difficult
Kaisa's
because you have to answer.
There's so much power in this hand. There's so much, but the game has just gotten so far away from us. Although it looks competitive, right? 4-5. This screen that we're looking at here looked great. This screen, terrifying. Hey, we're good. We're chill. It's fine. Look at the cards in the hand. Oh God, what happened?
As this 1,000 tail watcher comes down, which is useless against recruits, Tam, actually does nothing against recruit because they're already base 1. Right. But it's very good when you're going to trade into this other watcher. But the point I'm trying to get across, Sam, is before that watcher got played, if you look at this bottom third real quick, on the right-hand side, unit, times 6, times 2, and you looked on the left side, and there was nothing. Actually nothing over there. And here we have the watcher coming in for the swing with a 3 might advantage because of the effect, but we played a hidden blade as a response and killed it off, but gave the Kai'Sa 2 cards to draw. Tam, who cares about drawing cards? I feel like we might just win the game with the all-win con next turn.
Yeah, it feels tough. Crazy that we are actively having to spend these to oh, did we do this in the wrong order?
Yeah, this works. This does work. It works. It does work. So, because damage doesn't get healed. So, even if you had a 4 might unit and you dealt 3 to it, if you say, hey, I'm going to give this -1 might, it has 3 damage on it at a 3 might unit, it will still die. So it does work out.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it does still work that way. We did get rid of the Watcher by tapping every card sideways out of Kai'Sa's hand and getting rid of a lot of those cards that we drew, and you're still staring across 8 readied recruits. This champion unit, Viktor, and he just says, you're not contesting me, man. I'm just going to shove these little recruits in and watch. I'm just going to sit here with the little recruits. Oh my gosh. And then instead, I'm going to put a Machine Evangel with it. The Machine Evangel says, death now, when I die, play 3 more recruit unit tokens into your base. There's going to be so many recruits to win this game next turn, Tam, because we just conquered up and got to 7 points.
Yeah, I mean, this is threatening lethal. You have to deal with literally every single unit on the board here, because if you
and
leave
then the
any alive... Yeah. If you leave any alive... The flood of recruits are just going to come over and overpower on the top. And all you have to do is have 1 recruit at both base on our turn. That's it. That's all we need. And with no units over on Kasai's side, I mean, not even the signature spell. The rain is gonna get us there.
Kathian Rain.
Yeah.
There's too many units,
just
right?
too many guys.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12... 13 of them. There's 13 units alone, Tam, and some of them have more than 2 might, which means the ping for 2s on a Kathian Rain won't even kill them.
Wait, it does 2 damage 6 times?
Yes.
2 of them won't clear this entire board.
No, I think 2 would do it, but we don't have enough runes for that. That costs 14 runes, Tam, and we can only ever have 12. But we did see the Darius get played here, and then immediately played a Falling Star, which is doing a good enough job at combating against these battlefields. But the fact is that the other battlefield, empty. Just gets taken by a recruit and gives us 3 more recruits, and then the champion unit gives us another recruit, and you killed my other non-recruit unit. You gave me another recruit. Tam, there are 12 recruits on this board.
That's crazy. That's a lot. That's a lot of dudes. Fuzzy, thank you for the prime. Appreciate that, buddy. Almost 3 years.
Viktor and his glorious evolution, taking down game 1 decidedly against the Kai'Sa deck that we've seen dominate on stream almost all day today.
Yeah, that was
nuts. That was
decided. Very scary. And I think, look, I don't want to say the base had something to do with it, because it's like that's like one of my favorite bases in the whole game. But I think that there is both mental damage that base does, as well as just not giving more game text to Kai'Sa.
Yes.
I think that is so important.
Sam, I can't tell you how many times. You can go check out, obviously, my YouTube channel on Riftbound Ramblings, but you very similarly went through every single card in set 1, and every time they would reveal a new base to us, if you don't know this, for people on my channel, I give a rating, and I give a rating to each card that is shown to us based off of the ranks that you can get in League of Legends, because I think it's very funny, and it's thematic. But every time I would give a very high rating to a battlefield, it was specifically because I would say the words, I could see this being a really good battlefield for you to put in your deck, and it does absolutely nothing for your opponent.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what happened there, Tam, was that you get to make the decision when you sit across from your opponent, oh, I'm playing against a Kaisa deck. I know that this battlefield will never do anything for my opponent. Because if you sit across from like a Darius or another Viktor, you might think twice about picking that as your first battlefield for game one. But just like you said, when you're combating against probably the strongest battlefield from the Kaisa deck, the Void Gate, and you just get to play on this axis the entire time and threaten the lethal ability of it, it just makes sense. And I agree with you 100%. All of a sudden, that battlefield, the stocks for it, when you're specifically playing against a deck like this, go way up.
I cannot tell what this battlefield is that's closest to us. I'm pretty sure that the far battlefield is the Reaver's Row. If you conquer here...
When you're attacked... No, when you're attacked, you're allowed to retreat one.
Yeah, this
right?
might be War Camp. Units here have +1, which is interesting.
It looked like the Navori Fighting Pit. Maybe I'm wrong. No, that's not the Navori Fighting Pit. I lied. What did you say?
Trifarian War Camp. But that also doesn't...
yeah, that looks right. Yeah, units here get +1 might. That's just in general. So yeah, your recruit... It just makes sense, right? Your recruits get a little bit stronger. And we won that last game pretty decidedly because we had so many recruits. Imagine when you swing with your recruits there, like if you just attacked in a giant swarm, Tam, they're actually all 2 might. Now, this includes for your opponents, but when you're playing against a deck that isn't playing a lot of units, you're going to get more value out of that battlefield than your opponent, like we just talked about.
Yeah, interesting to already on turn 2 play the Viktor from our pocket. My issue with it is burn spells are so crazy out of this Kaisa deck, right? I'm just gonna fire them over and over and over again. Wait, we already have 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we are good. Yeah. I was like, how did we get 3?
Yeah, so turn
the answer
1
was
yeah, turn 1 we played this Pouty Poro, which is the Deflect Poro, which is kind of cool. It's a 2-drop and a 2 might. It has Deflect on it, which is really nice. And then to top it off, on the next turn, we played this Noxus Hopeful, and so we had 2 units, luckily good to go. And we are going ahead and trying to make our board a little bit bigger. The thing that we struggled with in game 1, we are trying to combat that here right away. I don't disagree with you, Tam. It is a little scary to put your, once per game, play this card that's not in your hand, that pretend like it's in your hand right off the bat, especially when you don't have any other units that are going to be dying to feed and give you more recruits right away. But I think one of the bigger benefits is that if you do get it off early, if you play it early, and you can keep it safe in any sort of capacity, it is a little safe if you just keep it in your base forever. Because a lot of the removal of the Kaisa deck is interacting with things on battlefields, not necessarily on their base. Or it means you get a Falling Star out of the Kaisa's hand, and they have to pick both choices for it on that Viktor. Yeah. But it looks like we're going to be a little aggressive with it. We're going to move it in, kill off this Pouty Poro, but instead of killing it off, the Reaver's Row says I'm allowed to bring it right back just to get on the board score-wise. But this Viktor is in a pretty vulnerable position now as we play a Soaring Scout as well as this Vanguard Captain with the Legion live. We're going to get 2 recruits right away.
The flood of units has started again. Here it is. We started this turn with
the 1 bonus.
2 guides. The 2 guys.
Yeah.
And then from here, we have added on 5 extra. Scary. Very, very scary. But with Kaisa having held that last battlefield is now 4-1 points-wise. So Viktor has a bit of catching up to do. And Kaisa's got 7 runes to her name to start blasting units out of the sky.
Yeah, 7 runes could be big here. I think even like a 1,000-tail Watcher, not accelerated, could mean a lot for killing off this Viktor with just like your Poro. Your Poro would be enough, but again, it's at Reaver's Row. So that decision doesn't necessarily seem the best because the Viktor player can just choose to bring their Viktor back, and that's why they felt really safe going into this Reaver Row. Talk about this 180, Tam. Not only did our battlefield do nothing for our opponent this game, but that Reaver's Row might be the reason why we felt comfortable playing this Viktor, because if you attack into it, I get to keep him safe.
Yeah. No, I love it. I think it's really, really heads up. And it's showing that our Viktor player knows this matchup pretty darn well. And the way that they are navigating through it is making me feel comfortable about their plays.
Yeah, Watchful Sentry coming down here in the battlefield where this Noxus Hopeful is. Just supporting that battlefield a little bit more. Remember, all units at that battlefield get +1, and we play Darius as our second unit for the turn. It sees itself as the second card for the turn, comes in ready, gets +2 might, immediately able to swing into that Reaver's Row, and Reaver's Row will keep Viktor safe as we pass back. But Kai'Sa going to 5 points to Viktor's 1. We are falling behind very quickly when it comes to winning the game.
Yeah, something has to happen here. Some amount of board wipe, 1,000 tails. Yeah, 1,000 tails would be nice to try and clear out things at the battlefields. Reduce that might, and so that your recruits can start doing their job and clearing things up. It looks like singularity here. Yeah, we're gonna be able to deal 6
whole
damage.
Yeah, absolutely. And it doesn't matter where. So we did pick the Darius and we picked the Noxus Hopeful, meaning that this little recruit gets to come in, and this scout here is going to trade with the Watchful Sentry. You're going to draw a card as Kai'Sa, but I'm going to channel a Rune Exhausted for that trade, these 2 Death Knell units. And then you can still send in something if you'd like to take over that battlefield and get back on the board. But we decided not to. We said nope. Or wait, no, yeah, we did. Okay.
Yeah, we're just taking our time.
We went ahead.
Figuring out which way to do it.
This recruit, makes a bonus recruit, spending all of our energy every single turn in an efficient way as the Viktor player, which I love so much when you see it. As you pass back to Kai'Sa, impossible to win this turn, only being at 5 points, but trying to figure out how you're going to start answering the opponent's board, because the Viktor's board is getting much wider very quickly.
Yeah, it is wide, right? But at the bases, there's only 1 and then 2 might respectively. So if we can figure out some way to like establish a board state and then have some sort of trick of whenever you come in, do an idea, do some sort of trick to stave off what's happening. I think that there could be a check into checkmate possible on Kai'Sa's board. Having a bit of a look at Viktor's hand, I think it's going to be a little tough, but
yeah,
they don't know what we know, getting our bird's eye view, our soaring scout's eyes view.
It is definitely like, this is the setup turn. You need to get to 6 might, or sorry, you need to get to 6 points this turn no matter what. With our 2 units that we have and staring at your opponent completely tapped out, you feel relatively safe here, swinging with this Poro, and then Reaver's rowing this unit back, giving them to 6. That's all you needed to do as Kai'Sa this turn, was get to 6. And now I think it's just about stabilizing and playing something that's sticky on your board.
Why is that important? Why does getting to 6 here matter?
Because once you're at 6, you can officially win the game on your next turn, right? Like, that's the important one. Because being at 7 doesn't matter if your entire units get wiped off. You still can only win by conquering both battlefields. If you get to 6 and then hold your resources, you can use all of those resources you have to push to 8 a lot easier if you didn't have to use any extra committal. The Sprite Mother, though, kind of makes me eat my own words. The Sprite Mother lets you go over to that other battlefield, go to 7, which means that when you're on your way to win the game, get to 8 and conquer both battlefields while doing so. When you score that first battlefield, you'll draw a card, which could be the reason you can answer. Reaver's Row, keeping your Poro alive, and you don't care about the temporary token, but this is going to help the Viktor deck go up to 5 this turn, score-wise. But yeah, it is looking like a checkmate scenario if we don't have a way to answer all of these units that Kai'Sa has on their board. For the first time ever in this match, Tam, more non-token units on Kai'Sa's board than the Viktor player.
Yeah. Judge is a little slow here on our minus tokens because of the 1,000 tail watcher.
Yeah, it does give -3 to everything, which means that this recruit actually wins because of the battlefield effect on the trade, because that one already got the -3, even with the buff that it was already getting from the battlefield. So when your recruit moves in, it's a 2 versus your opponent's 1. You win that without having to trade anything, and you actually get the kill off that sprite without needing extra. And we see the way that we're going to win this game is we have to overload a battlefield, and we have control of both of them. So it's not only this idea of like, this is how you win as Kai'Sa. You have to take, it's not just killing all my units and getting to the battlefield. You have to take both of them. You can't win the game unless you take both of them in one turn, or by a hold point, of course. But that's not going to be happening here because Kai'Sa doesn't have any units on any battlefield.
I think Kai'Sa's signature spell here is like the cleanest checkmate that I have. Shooting all of these units for 2 at the...
It would hit every recruit and kill them because they are at 2 might, right?
Yeah.
You would leave just the Viktor to deal with, and then the other battlefield which we could find a way, but I think that might be the answer here. As long as we have it, I don't know if we do. You're the ones that have been looking at hands.
Spoiling the story. But with only
That's okay.
3, I'm not seeing it.
I think it could still come down to another series of like, if you have enough removal to answer the Reaver's Row battlefield, you probably have enough units with like some extra tacked on power buffs because of you have 4 units. If you play a couple spells, the Raven Bloom is going to get some buffs wise. You might have enough to power through, but the fact that that other battlefield, I don't know why I can't think of its name, but it has 7 units on it, it represents +7 in the might that you have to get through, right? Because each unit gets +1 might.
Yeah. But it looks
What do we
like
play?
Falling Star comes
Falling
in,
Star?
shooting the 1,000 tails for 6 damage, 3 twice, respectively. And then, again, Barrett, we've got Viktor on the board. If that 1,000 tails falls, 1,000 tails turns into 1 recruit, which just like makes the game a little bit easier. It looks like we're gonna trade here. We're gonna do both.
So the idea is when you swing with the Noxus Hopeful, we have the decision here. If you want to take one back with Reaver's Row, which one would you like to take?
The answer was neither. Because
we'll take the 2 recruits.
Yeah, we'll take the 2 recruits and we want to trade.
And I think that is the correct call because based off of what I know is in Viktor's hand, we have Grand Stratagem as the way that we're hopefully going to try and help win this game. We just need bodies.
Yeah. Replacing
those bodies with more bodies makes a lot of sense. But it does mean we do get to take over this Reaver's Row, draw a card because we can't go to 8 yet because we have to win we have to take both battlefield. So we'll take it, draw our card, see if it's any more help to battle through all of these units here. We're doing the math. It is like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 plus 4, 16, 17 might to deal with.
Looks
we're gonna
like
play a Yordle.
Don't quite have it. I think what we drew was 1,000 tails. But it
wasn't enough, right?
Yeah.
Because even the -3 across each of them, it actually only touches each of the recruits for 1.
Yeah.
And then it hits the Viktor for the full 3. I guess if you accelerated
it would trade
it,
right? It would trade it clean. They would all. There are 7 people there. They all go down to 1. I come in and I swing in for 7.
And you have the Viktor for 1. I think it was still lethal, Tam.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, there's 7.
Because remember, when you send your units, they also receive the 1 might buff.
Oh.
So the Watchful was an 8.
Was an 8.
Our 2 ready
7.
units here. Oh. Yeah. So, but it is. I definitely think we could have won if it was a Watcher that we drew.
We
but
counted
instead
our runes, we didn't have enough to play it. That was our issue.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that makes sense because we played the Yordle that we drew, which means we didn't have enough to tap. No, we chose to play the Yordle when we had the Watchful. We didn't play a spell, did we?
We played something that let us draw, or
the
do
Yordle.
Something.
Well, the draw was the Conquer. I just don't know what we played for 3. Oh, it was this other Poro. No, the Poro's for 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I don't know what happened. We tapped a rune somewhere for something.
Yeah. Isn't it?
Oh, it was.
It 9?
I'm sorry. We played that spell.
It's a 7 drop and then
Watchful.
An extra for the thing.
Accelerate. But it would have been for 8.
8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
yeah,
8. We had enough.
I guess chat.
But we didn't.
Will let us.
I'm going
know.
back.
Either way,
we skipped the spell on how we dealt damage to that Watchful or that Watcher earlier. We played a Falling. We did not have enough to play the Stag.
You're right.
Sorry, we didn't have enough to play the Watcher because we had already paid 2. But yeah, so we go back. We hold, going to 6. But you now on the other side have the same game plan that the Kaisa did. They loaded up on 1 battlefield, and it's a Reaver's Row. We played the Grand Stratagem. All of our units are going to get +5 this turn. So this one recruit, Tam, is at 6 might, which conflicts with exactly the might that you have on this battlefield, and it cost us a spell from our hand and 1 recruit.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge, and it says that If I want, I can send in the other one if we don't clean up this one altogether. But it looks like we're gonna be
Yeah, they're gonna trade. Or okay,
yeah.
we're gonna reverse row, run this back. So now you only represent 4 might on the battlefield.
And also pick one up.
We're gonna
Which will be
take
the
our
draw.
lecturing Yordle back. So even less now. That means this recruit's gonna take the win, take the score, go to 7 for the Viktor player. And now you're in a similar boat where, well, if you didn't have enough to combat what I was doing on this other battlefield, Tam, this other recruit that's sitting back in our base can go and help out the Viktor, and we can play the Viktor legend ability to put another unit on there. So if you couldn't deal with the 17 might I had before, I'm going to actually have like 21 might on the next
Yeah.
one. So this is very scary, not going in the favor for the Kaisa deck. We're going to go to, yeah, so we score there. We should go to 7. Should go to 7.
Hey.
Which means we can't win. We couldn't win this turn. We're going to play Viktor. We're going to get another recruit, and you're going to pass turn.
Let's say you got to figure out how to deal with the
You
rest
have
of
to
this.
conquer both.
Yeah.
Because the thing about last turn was that Viktor was only at 5 points. You didn't have to worry about getting all their units off of it for game. It is now game being presented here. You have to combat against 6, 7, 8 recruits that all get +1. So 16 plus the 4 might you have on your Viktor, which is 20, and it also gets 1. So 21 might versus your 3 ready units here. Is the Watcher going to be enough now? Is the question. Watcher plus something. Watcher plus Kaisa champion unit, which would cost a ton of runes to play, which we can't afford.
Yeah.
Instead, we're going to go here. And he goes, yeah, I have no effects. I'll just Reaver's Row it back. You're going to get a draw. Will this draw be the reason they can win the game? That would be crazy if it was. Watcher here on for 7. Probably play the accelerate cost. Plays it for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I am not envious of the production people that have to keep moving all the runes around.
all the buttons.
Yeah, so we're gonna give -3 to all of those, and then we're gonna play a Hextech Ray, killing off the Viktor, which was the biggest unit. These are all for 1. There's 8 of them you have to deal with. Presenting it all, it is enough to kill them all, and that's gonna be game 2 going to Kaisa. And that's what I'm saying, Sam. I think if we had that Watcher before we spent a lot of the energy to get through what was going on, I think we could have won it, but I forgot about the falling star that we had to play. So in reality, holding on to that Watcher for this turn that we needed to, knowing that Viktor couldn't win on that last turn, was the perfect setup for what we said about the check into the checkmate scenario, which is exactly what happened there. So game 2 going over to Kaisa as we go into our game 3, and Viktor gets to be on the play.
It's crazy. So I'm sitting here and I'm watching. Obviously, you're doing incredible play-by-play. It feels like I'm almost sitting at home rather than casting with you. I felt like Viktor was in such control of that game the entire time that I forgot that Kaisa was at 7, and if we just took both, we scored the point. And so, like, you're like, whoa, that's game. And I went, no, it's Viktor's turn now. He's got to figure out oh, wait, we took them both.
Yeah.
We did it.
And I think that's the scariest part about the Kaisa deck is that it doesn't do a bad job at accumulating and playing the game with you with the few amount of units that it actually is playing in its deck. It still plays the game incredibly well when it comes to accumulating points, things like Sprite Mother. You play these Watchful Sentries that are going to redraw you a card anyway. They eventually will die, but you're going to get some points along the way. So that when you go first as Kaisa, by the time you feel like you have caught up, Tam, and you have that kind of board state that the Viktor player did have, they're at 7 points and you're at 4.
Yeah.
And you're like, I have to win in 2 turns, whereas you can win in 1 if I don't answer anything. So, but we have Viktor going first here. We did play a Watchful Sentry of our own. We got to draw a bonus card when it died, which it did from the Void Seeker when we tried to take the point. And here's another scenario, Tam. Because we played a Strike Mother right here, we are actually the first person in this game to get a point going second, and we play a Stupefy as another response onto this recruit, trying to draw more cards, getting huge value for all of our energy and resources that we have, just to even like combat. But boom, this is another power play here as well. The something Evangel. I know it's Evangel. Watchful Evangel. Machine Evangel, which is a 4 might unit that when it dies gives us 3 recruits. and we're powered up onto this other battlefield that we kind of glossed over, Tam. But this is the altar of unity, or altar to unity, which says that when you hold here, you get another recruit in your base.
Yeah. Which is massive.
Yeah, the Evangel getting sniped down by the Void Seeker is going to give us 3 of those, but we swing with our Sprite Mother, which has 3 might, versus the 2 remaining recruits here. Means you're not going to get the hold. You're going to get the point here for the Kaisa player, and we'll play our own Raven Bloom at it as an extra tempo play. We're playing very quick here in this last game with 5 minutes left, and these players know exactly what they want to do, and they are really trying to figure out what their key and path to victory is in a very fast manner. And Kaisa is, again, kind of really putting a dominant lead here on maintaining a board state and removing pieces off of Viktor's board and having the score lead, having gone second.
Yeah, Singularity coming out, sniping the 2 units that are sitting here at the base. Kaisa trying to figure out, hey, what do we do about it? And the answer is probably nothing, right? Stupefy to -1.
Just to draw a card.
Let's get a redraw. Drop an anchor on a recruit at home. And then see, what does this draw get me? But 2 recruits jumping up to both battlefields, pushing us up now, taking the lead here, I believe, to now 3 points. Yes.
Yeah, and give us a 4th recruit. This one will be at home. Yeah, he's like, I need another recruit token. Sir. There it is. And then, again, this other battlefield that we have access to that is on here is one we've seen before. This one is... maybe not. I can't find it.
Oh, it's the if you hold here, ready to.
The Targon's Peak. If you hold, or when you conquer here, you get to ready 2, which we didn't do. So we should have ready 2 runes. But is it a May? No. Another watchful, or sorry, not watchful. Everything in this game has watchful or watcher on it. This is a mother sprite mother. Gives us the temporary token. Lets us get a score here, going up to 3. But this isn't going to help us immediately answer the other battlefield. So we're going to play a Watchful Sentry, another Watchful Sentry. And then it looks like we are going to play probably this Hextech Ray to remove this recruit so that you don't get a bonus recruit for holding on to it. So I think that's a great play as well.
Yeah, it does feel bad to like trade your I'm going to shoot you for 3 spell for potentially 2 might, right? You get the 1 cost and then the potential of the 1 cost afterwards. But like, I think keeping, with only the 2 minutes left, keeping Viktor's board state down, keeping it low count, I think does matter a lot.
Yeah, and we're even seeing now the other side of this matchup, which is Viktor spent a lot of risk this game of playing some recycle cost or power costed cards like the Evangel. And yes, they gave us these recruits, but they're getting easily killed off, right? Because the might on the units that Kaisa is playing is just bigger than a recruit. And as long as you aren't giving Viktor more of them, you just are able to slowly get some more points as well. But the runes that Viktor has access to are slowly diminishing. As we now even get rid of another one to play this seal, because we played a card, it triggers our Legion here for our Vanguard Captain, and all of a sudden we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more units at home and 1 on a battlefield now that will easily get killed off, obviously, next turn, going to 4 points. But Kaisa is very easily positioned to go to 5 points next turn.
Yeah, I love that play. In Riftbound, you're allowed to float your runes. So we turned our runes sideways to generate the energy for them, and then from there played the seal to recycle one back, and then that was the first card. Using the runes that we had floating, we then proceeded to play out the captain. So cool heads up play on his.
We even had enough to play the Faithful Manufacturer.
Right.
So we actually generated another recruit and another body to go along with it. So again, we're doing great on having bodies, but them all being for 1 might this game is going to really kind of be a detriment to us because we don't have a lot of other things going for us, which is specifically like the battlefield we had last game. We don't have that one. That's not what's going on here. We have a hold benefit battlefield and a conquer benefit battlefield. So you have to throw units in either direction to try and maybe get a benefit. And right now, Kaisa is benefiting from the win, conquer, ready 2 at the end of the turn.
Yeah, this is the board state is looking significantly more like the Viktor that we know and love, but the points are telling a bit of a different story. Kaisa very easily, reinforcing this this battlefield and saying, "Hey, I'm gonna play as many and as much as I can."
Yeah, lecturing Yordle coming down. Yeah, Electric Immortal also has tank, which is kind of relevant against these recruits because you have to run some of this might into the tank first. I wonder if we might even just like hard play our champion unit here. I was kind of posturing to it of like, don't pay the accelerate cost. You've already conquered both battlefields for the turn, but you can just play it to have it ready to go in your base. I don't even think you need to put it at a battlefield. You're winning in the points already. You have units there. Just pay the 4, put this valuable unit into play, and float 2 energy up. 4 because you got the conquer effect. Oh, he said no. I'm just gonna play this watchful sentry. Pay the 2. Play it there. End my turn.
And then ready the 2 back up, right?
And then ready the 2 back up. Yeah. So, it is very much, and that must not be the battlefield we're on. I must be.
It's certainly
Screaming
the one
air
that
right now.
that it looks like.
It sure looks like Targon's Peak.
No, it definitely is.
Okay, then we're just not doing it.
Yeah, we're just choosing not to. Yeah, that's absolutely that. But hey, you know, tensions are high at the stream table. Round 5, 1-1. I'm sure these players are fighting for their tournament lives here. But it looks like Singularity coming out, shooting 2 relevant units.
Yeah, I said the Kai'Sa was going to be safe, and I was wrong. Yeah, so, and then we're going to immediately swing in with this 2 might unit. And he goes, yeah, man, you have to take the tank first. So the Yordle's going to die. But then here comes the captain, which is going to have a 3 might to the 2 leftover might of the sentry. Great trade here. Doing exactly what you needed to do. Attack with the 1 thing first, get rid of the tank, and then go in so that your opponent doesn't have the opportunity to assign might to that captain first. And so instead, we are going to continue to generate some more of these recruits. And then we are going to pass it back, going to 6. Kai'Sa now 0 units on the board, going up to 8 runes? 9 runes. We have 9 runes to play with. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A Cathian Rain is almost enough to clear the board. But because the Vanguard is a 3 might unit, and we have 1 more recruit, then it would kill all the recruits.
It would kill all the recruits, and I think that's really important here.
Stupefy, that matters. Stupefy can do it. Stupefy put it to 2.
Could do it. I have not seen a Cathian Rain. Is that the name of it?
Yeah.
Wow. At all
the
from this player.
Third Sprite Mother coming in this game though already, and this is again going to help us either maintain our so we're just going to trade. It's stupefied, right? So it's just going to win the battlefield, get us up to 6 points, and if we can find a way to kill off this recruit over here, the score is tied. But again, if you can conquer both battlefields, like, we're not in a great position. I didn't realize this. Viktor is in a position here to win the game.
Yes.
Next turn.
Yes.
So we have to overload this battlefield.
Yeah, overload this one because we're going to go up to 7 from our hold, and then from here, I think all it's going to take is a 1,000 tails to reduce the might of these units, and then
or a grand stratagem. You can see the grand stratagem for the whim, right? +5 to all of your units. We're tapping a bunch, recycling a bunch. 1, 2, 3.
You're totally right.
Grand stratagem's coming in. No big enough counterplay. He goes, I show you the grand stratagem. Wow. Handshake across. It's so massive. +5 might to all of your units. When you have that many, there's just not much you can do about it. And that is the game and the match going to Viktor, taking down Kai'Sa, who, at least so far this stream day, Tam, has been the victor in most of these situations. See what I did there? The victor.
Well, the victor's the victor this time, as you can see from the winner's screen. Incredible. What a fun one. If you liked this, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you check out all the other matches that that me and Barrett have commentated over today, and make sure you check out his channel, Riftbound Ramblings, over on youtube.com. With that, we got one last round to pop in, and I can already see what it's going to be. And boy, howdy, it's I'm excited. I think it's gonna be dope. So go check out that video as well. If you're joining us live, don't go anywhere.